It's an Almond Joy. International Delight definitely knows what's up. Hey, welcome back to That's Rank, your home for food news and reviews. My name is Chris, and it's time to get a little bit caffeinated. Now, last week, we started a new series to take a look at coffee creamers, and we're going to continue that series today. Then, coming up a little bit later on, I'm going to walk you through the disaster that was my first and last hot wing eating contest that I entered, so you're going to want to stick around for that. But before I go ahead and humiliate myself, we're going to be talking about Almond Joy coffee creamer from International Delight. Almond Joy candy bars are of course not known for tasting like almonds, but the thick layer of coconut that they've got in the middle. Basically, if you're down with coconut, Almond Joy is a joy. Now, to ensure we're getting the appropriate taste test on this one, our generic coffee of the day is brought to us by Krispy Kreme. I believe that their coffee slogan is, "Yep, we actually have coffee too." Whoa, heavy coconut scent in this one. They've got that part of it down cold. Now let's see how it translates inside of a cup of coffee. Ooh, I like that a lot. It's an Almond Joy. International Delight definitely knows what's up. So one thing I would say is that, like the funfetti that we tried last week, it still veers a little too far onto the sweetness side. So it does take away from the coffee, but it is crappy Krispy Kreme coffee, so maybe I kind of want it to take away from the coffee in this case. I mean, Almond Joys are sweet in nature, so if you're gonna get this, you're probably hoping that it tastes like an authentic candy bar. I think I gave the funfetti a 63, and this one's gonna rank a fair bit higher than that. I would ratchet it all the way up to an 81. I feel like if I was gonna treat myself to coffee creamer, this would probably be one of the ones I definitely consider using. This one's really good. Now, before we jump into story time, and trust me, this one's a doozy, let's check out some customer reviews and see what you think about the International Delight Almond Joy Creamer. I'm gonna start with Lizbeth C, who gives this 1 star and writes, "Is that weird? Seriously, I didn't like it and I was grossed out by it. For me, it tastes like dental anesthesia. My husband, who loves Almond Joy, didn't like these. He prefers the regular coconut cream." I can honestly say I've never had dental anesthesia, but I've been under general anesthesia 6 different times, and it definitely didn't taste a thing like Almond Joy. I actually don't remember any flavor at all. I remember being told to count backwards from 10 and never making it past the number 9. All right, we have one more review from Whitney M, who gives this 5 stars and says, "This stuff is so good. I could literally just drunk this plain, even though I don't. It tastes just like an Almond Joy." Friends, word of advice: don't drink this straight. 1 tablespoon is 35 calories, and if you chug this straight, you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. All right, let's talk chicken wings. The year was 2007. I was 25 years old, and I was going through this period where I was eating increasingly hot food on a regular basis, I guess to show off my manhood, that look how much heat my mouth can take on. Not to mention the TV show Man vs. Food was starting to find its footing, and I was taken in by that whole thing. And I think I saw Adam Richman as a role model that I wanted to live up to for whatever reason. I had a friend, and for the sake of this story, we'll call that friend Sean because that's his real name. And Sean and I used to go out for wings, I would say probably almost weekly at that time. And I would often gravitate towards the hottest wings on the menu, even if they weren't necessarily what I wanted. I needed to show off just how much heat that I could take down at any given time. Anyway, Sean was into the hot wing scene too, and I think he genuinely enjoys the hot flavor that goes behind the wings. Unlike me, who was basically all into trying to show that I could keep up with him. And there's a contest being run by a local radio station, 106.9 The Bear, where every Thursday or Friday morning for a period of time, they were having a number of people into their studio to try to eat the hottest wings in the world. And the person who ate the most will get a chance to compete in the finals for a chance to win 1,069 wings for free. Now, given how many wings we're eating on like a weekly basis, this seemed like a perfectly reasonable contest. 1,000 wings would probably last us like a month, maybe. So Sean sends them an email and basically talks the both of us up as a couple of men who can really handle manly heat. And he gets us both entered through his trash talk. Immediately, I admit that I'm a little bit concerned because while I was into the heat, I'd never gone so far as to try the kind of stuff that would, melt your face. So the night before the contest, I decided to go to a local wing place, Wild Wing, which was also the people who were sponsoring the contest. And I ordered the hottest wings that they had on their menu. Waitress bought it out and I devoured 10 of them in about 2.5 minutes time. Like, I just crushed it. I'm sitting there beaming with pride and I tell the waitress what's on tap the following day. She's like, oh no, the ones you're gonna be trying tomorrow are 7 times hotter on the Scoville scale than the ones that you just ate. Even then, I was feeling okay. I thought, I have an iron gut, I've done my prep, I'm good to go. Following morning rolls around, 6 a.m., Sean and I are on the way to the radio station to eat hot wings, first thing in the morning. The host greets us at the door and tells us he's been running hot wing contests for years, and this is the absolute worst wing that he has ever personally consumed. I figure these are just scare tactics, and so does Sean. Anyway, we meet our competition. There's 2 other people who are going to be playing along with us. There's a woman there and another young guy. We are brought into the studio, and of course Sean's trash-talking email is brought up as the hosts want to see what we're made of. They've got milk on standby and bread. I'm not a milk drinker. At least I don't drink it on its own. I don't like it. It doesn't sit well with me. I'm okay with it like mixed with some cereal, but I just don't like plain milk on its own. I didn't grow up drinking it, and I've just never gotten used to milk being a normal beverage. So there's a guy there who's prepping the wings for us, and he's wearing gloves and a mask. And that should have been my telltale sign right there that these are serious business. But again, I figure it's all gimmickry and part of the show. They hand us each our starting wings, hit the timer and say go. I take my first bite. And instantaneously, my mouth goes numb. My throat is on fire. I can't talk. I can't do anything. The flavor was the worst stuff I have ever tasted in my life. And I've been adventurous in trying some stuff along the way. This was truly the worst thing I've ever had in my mouth. The description that I've used over the years with friends is that it was like paint thinner or turpentine, just something really, it's like a toxic chemical that we should not be ingesting inside of our bodies. Combine that with the volcanic heat, I couldn't take it. They handed me a glass of milk, and of course, as soon as the milk hit my mouth, combined with that hot sauce thing going on, I started to spew on the spot. So the showrunner immediately ushers me into the hall because the other contestants are gonna be sick as well if they hear me start, gagging as we go. And so I'm just losing it in the hallway. My nose starts bleeding. My eyes are bloodshot. I take it to the bathroom and the room is just spinning. This is the worst pain I have ever felt in my life. After about 20 minutes, and I just come back looking like I'd gone 15 rounds of Apollo, I head back into the studio. My buddy Sean had also tapped out at 4 wings, and there was a woman in there who had managed to get through 5, so she was deemed the winner who would be moving on to the finals, which I think at that point was perfectly fine with both Sean and I. I don't think that 1,069 wings were worth what we were going through. Sean had to go through about an entire loaf of bread just to get through those 4 wings. Anyway, the hosts were gentle on me all told, which they shouldn't have been. Given the email that we sent, they should have been roasting the holy hell out of me. I was fair game, but I guess they felt so bad that I'm sitting there with my bloody nose and my eyes that were just bloodshot and disastrous that they went easy on me. As we headed back to work, we get into the office, and Sean immediately makes a beeline for the bathroom where he tells me that he too had thrown up. And it's not so much that he had to, although they were sitting there and they were making him feel a little bit nauseous, but he told me later, he's like, look, they were gonna come out one side or the other, and I wanted to choose the side in which that they came out. So yeah, that actually curbed my entire obsession with the face-burning hot sauces as a whole, and since then, I've completely backed off, focusing more on flavor over fire. I still like heat, but I just want it to taste good and not cause my insides to hemorrhage. So with that in mind, what is the dumbest thing that you've ever done in the name of trying to prove your personal toughness? Comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as both those actions really help me out. And otherwise, I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao for now.